Rise and shine, gamers. Yes, we are back. And haven't had a review in a good little minute since the M8. But today we're looking at two different mouse pads from Xten. They were nice enough to send me both the Xten Control and the G-Cloth. I wasn't too interested in the hard pad because I just don't like hard pads. But we're going to check out the speed between the two, the surfaces, the size, and the price point. So hold on to your nuggets. We're going in. All right. So what we have before you is the Xten G-Cloth. Gotta give it to them. They do have insane graphics on their packaging, but that's not what we're really interested in. All right. This is the Xten Control. A lot larger. Right off the back, you can tell. But they're two different pads. This one is more of a controlled, but I would put this kind of more balanced. Not a full-on control pad. Whereas the Xten G-Cloth, I think is going to be a lot more controlled, but it's a weird surface. So we're going to talk about the G-Cloth first. When you unpackage it, you got a little clip here. Not the easiest to take out, but it works. But this is the G-Cloth from Xten. Now, when you look at it, it has a little bit of a texture to it. It is hard to see. Let me see if I can... You can kind of see it in the light, right? It's kind of like, you can kind of see it down here, right? It's super small. Doesn't really move. But it's like, it's a textured small control pad, right? Because what I mean by that is, obviously, you don't really feel the texture on the skates. It's smooth. But on your hand and on your arm, you will feel the texture when you move around on it. It's not like Kian texture. It's a different kind of texture. I can't really describe it. It's just take like take one of those like bookmarks you would get and like the school scholastic like fair, you know, like parents are like, hey, here's some money, go get yourself a book. You get those bookmarks that like you can flip them and they look like holograms. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Yeah. But it's what it feels like when you move your hand over it. You can feel it's like a I don't know, it's just a weird texture. I haven't felt this texture on a pad yet. But when it comes to the glide, this is so controlled that it feels like the pad gets slower with each glide of your mouse. So when you first take the mouse out of the pad out of the box, out of the packaging, and everything like that, it's actually pretty quick. But over time, it slows down like drastically to the point where it feels like your mouse is almost sticking to the pad. Now, it wasn't unusable, but it wasn't my preference. And I think this pad I think goes for about $80. Brand new when it's not on sale. I know you can pick it up from Lethal for about 60 or 70, somewhere around there. But this is a small pad. And for it being in a control-oriented pad, like a really control-oriented pad, like the more I'm using it right now, the slower it's getting to me personally. It feels like it feels like it's just sticking. It's like a magnet to the pad, where in heavy tracking games, I would not want to use this. Just to be completely honest with you, I think it's too slow and it's too small to where the pad's virtually unusable, right? Because when you have this much room, you are going to want to up your sense to even utilize the full space. If you're a low sense gamer, I wouldn't even look at this pad. If you're a high sense, maybe. But for the price point as well, I think it's just a little too expensive. No, it's definitely too expensive. I'm not going to say a little bit. But when it comes to let me turn this light down a little bit so you guys can actually actually see without the huge light glare. But as you can see, it's like you can see the actual layers on the pad itself too with the camera. It's a weird pad. It's a good, if this pad was larger, I could see people liking it and using it. But since it's so small, it's kind of unusable for me. Now I know some pros might use it, some higher competitive gamers. I would probably put this in like a Valorant and CS:GO pad, just based on how slow it is and how small. But for like tracking, I'm not really too fond of it based on what I personally like. I like speed. But now, when you look at their medium pad or their larger pad, I can see a lot of people using this kind of pad now. Well, let's take it out for you guys. This is their standard control pad right here. As you can see, it's a lot larger. There's no stitching, which one I would like to have them do some kind of stitching on this pad. I think it will make it just 10 times better. But it is right off the back, it's still smooth on the skates. It's smoother on your skin. It is a cloth pad. It's larger. And it's faster than G-cloth. I've used this pad way more than the G-cloth just based on performance and what I personally like. And with the size, it's very viable. It's really good. It's super smooth on the skates. Doesn't have really like any abrasion to it. It is not silky smooth like my head on the arm and stuff, but it's not annoying. It's nothing like the Heian. It's nothing like most of the other like hybrid pads, because this is a cloth pad. It's not going to be a hybrid. Now this pad goes for $100 off the back. So when it goes for $100 at this size, I still think it is too much for just a standard cloth pad. More of a balanced pad. It's not going to be on everybody's cup of tea just because of the price point. I would say if this pad can get dropped down to half that, probably even more, people would pick it up more than what they're doing right now. But that's the biggest gripe with Xten is the price points of all their pads. I think they're just way too expensive for just a daily gamer, right? For a casual gamer, I don't think they're going to pick this pad up. Now, for us enthusiasts, yeah, reviewers got it for free. They can review it. Of course, you know, we got this thing for free. But to a gamer who's just looking for a pad to really just hone in and use on a daily basis, for $100, I don't think people are going to be picking this up as much as some might think. I'm not trying to like gripe or like just shit on the company. I'm not at all. They are pretty interesting pads. I've played out of my mind on the Xten pad, as you're going to see in some of the clips afterwards. I do like this pad. Like, I'm not saying I don't like it, but the price point is just way too high. This is pretty much the same price point as a Sky pad, which is a super smooth glass pad, completely different material, which probably costs a lot more to make. I don't think this pad, the medium cloth, costs that much. And their G-cloth, what they told me is it does cost a little more for the materials and all that, but it's just too high. But for the size is great. You can use it in Valorant, Overwatch, Apex, whatever game you want to use it, you can definitely use this pad. Is it going to be endgame? For me, personally, no, because I am a speed pad guy. I would lean towards the Raiden, the Vanzer Ice, the Wushang 2, the Wushang X, those pads are my alleyway. Now, for these, they're great. They're good pads. I like them. As well as just biggest thing, price point. Price point, price point, price point. Gamers want pads that don't cost more than about 60 bucks unless you're paying for artisan. That's it. But other than that, we're going to check some clips. Do I recommend this pad? If you're an enthusiast and you're wanting to spend money, you want to test something out, go for it. If you're a casual gamer, there are other pads on the market that will definitely fit your needs based on your budget, what you're looking to spend on a pad. So there we go. A nice, simple review on 2 pads. Let's roll the clips. Let's see how I performed on the G-Cloth, which is only going to be about a clip because I really didn't want... I really couldn't use the pad too long because it just felt too slow for me. But with this pad, we got some nasty clips coming up. So the next review, I don't know what it's going to be on. Might be the Atlantis Mini, might be the Bruce Lee X2, might be the Pure Track pad. No idea. So, love you guys. Rise up. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.
I'm down. I actually got hit.
I just lasered them.
In the chimney. Focus, people. We have to get inside the ring.
We got people here.
Keep red.
Speed shot it. No one asked for my drill.
Reloading. Downed another target. No quarter given.
Made it. Xten, let's smash him.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Charging the shields, cuzzy.
Down to target. Back an enemy shield.
Amigos, I got some bad guys here.
Inside the ring. Got the position on. Tango down. Reloading.
Reloaded.
You didn't know I'm around the fucking corner already, dude.
Throwing thermite.
That's a little weird.
Give me a sec. Recharging shields. Frag out. Smoke out.
Close right.
Let's check out this area.
Drill pattern 3.